to say. I got something to say. Spreading love and spilling tea. So welcome everybody to Tea Time. Hey! Hello, everybody. So this is the second part of the last Tea Time where I'm going to talk about my first semester of my PhD experience. So this fall, I joined the theater studies department in the PhD section. I don't know, however you want to word that. I'm doing my PhD in theater studies at LSU, and it has been an experience, okay? Trying to start your PhD in a pandemic is no joke. Like the Zoom classes, the difference of, like, I was like, okay, I just did my master's, so it's gonna be almost exactly the same. It was not exactly the same at all, especially because I came out the gate doing so many theater history classes. So it was really tight material, and it was kind of tough to crack into every so often. So that was rough. Don't get me wrong, everyone was super nice. My professors are extremely helpful. The kinds of conversations that you have, I think I was ready for, because University of Chicago is kind of a place where people are very they're very willing to tell you everything that they know about something, and it prepares you very well for a PhD department, or a PhD experience rather. And so I really wasn't put off or put out by the kind of conversations or discourse that you have. I think for me, the hardest adjustment was not having a real sense of being present or belonging in the space, not in the sense of imposter syndrome so much, but like, I've never seen this university. The first I saw of this school was on a Zoom call, right? So I've never seen the university, I've never seen these people in person, and then when I click off the call, I'm back home in the house that I like did my adolescence in. So there's this huge kind of break of reality and feeling like, oh, this is what I'm doing and this is where I'm supposed to be. So that was odd. What else? I feel like I had a professor that kind of tokenized me, right? Like every time we talked about African Americans, I was the one who had to answer all of the questions. And then eventually it got to the point where he just wanted to hear my answers to any question and every question. So that was kind of an exhausting experience. So that was new and difficult, because with the generation or the decade that we're in, or whatever you want to say, people don't really do that as often anymore. In my experience, I haven't had that happen so much. Like, don't get me wrong, my blackness and my black womanhood has definitely called attention to itself, and then has had inverse and adverse reactions in other people, but I hadn't just kind of had to deal with, especially a person of color doing it. So that was a new experience. Overall, I think that it's all going to work out beautifully. I think my hardest thing was kind of saying, why am I here? Right? I feel like when you're in the space of school, and when there's more going on for school than just the actual school work, then you get it. All the pieces are coming together. Because you're like, oh, I like this friend, or found this coffee shop, or I love this part of the library. And it's an overall comprehensive experience. But when it's just you doing the class, you're like, I don't even know why I'm here. I don't know what God wants me to do. And I certainly don't know why this matters. So yeah, that was a tough thing. And by the time I got to my finals, y'all, I'm not like a huge procrastinator, but I turned in one final from like an all-nighter at like 5:10 in the morning. Because these massive papers need to get done. I just couldn't figure out how I was going to do them, and it took me a while, and I had to have a baby breakdown, and then I could get it done. So there were quite a few baby breakdowns on the way to finishing my first semester. I finished with all A's though. But then you get to graduate school and no one actually cares about your grades anymore. So it's kind of like, oh, yay, I did this thing, but it doesn't matter in the same way. Um, so yeah, honestly, right now I'm feeling kind of fatigued by it and kind of over it. I know you're not supposed to say that. But yeah, I'm kind of in a place where I'm really glad that I'm on a break because I have to figure out how to muster my fucks back for this next semester because at this point I don't have them. So yeah, we'll see. And let me know if you guys want me to keep doing these and tell you about the things that I learn, or you guys want to hear something more specific about my PhD experience or anything like that. Y'all have a good one. Be good, lovies.